It's Thursday, April 30th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Irving Oil facing charges over a Woodstock, New Brunswick diesel leak a year and a half ago. Details just ahead in your news headlines.
And the most important meal of the day. We'll speak with the president of the Breakfast Club of Canada about the evolving food needs in school and how they're adapting. That's in our second hour.
Plus, aging well at home. We'll chat with the organizer of this weekend's Halifax Senior Living Expo and get the details on the services and programs and professionals who will be attending and helping older adults live their best lives. All that and so much more just ahead on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, good morning. It is 6:01 on this Thursday, April 30th, last day of April, if you can believe it. Woohoo! Personal tax deadline day. Get your taxes in. Get your taxes in. But yeah, no, it's great to be here on the last day of April. But gosh, I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's cold.
Yeah.
I had to actually put the furnace on for a little second this morning. I think my family, I had it off, but like, I love my family. Okay, I won't freeze you out of the house.
Right? Yeah. I could do the same thing yesterday. We've been having the heat off, and I'm like, turn it back on.
A little bit of tears.
Yeah.
We haven't taken off the sheets that we have for the winter time. You know, when you have like a nice heavier duvet.
Oh, yeah.
We have what is called like their mink sheets, not made out of real mink.
They're made of mink?
Yeah. No, they're
No.
not.
Are you Koala DeVille?
Don't even get started about my vest collection.
yeah.
That's perfect. But what are they made out of?
No, probably a polyester blend. But like, you know, when you have like a thicker blanket that's kind of like a throw blanket?
Oh, yeah.
Imagine that, but in sheet form.
But it's like, are they actually like faux fur?
Not exactly faux fur, but
okay, this is,
we'll
we will do a
photos up.
meditation
Okay.
on this after the show, or find us a picture of these mink
I will
sheets.
tell you more about it because I convert people onto these mink sheets
Interesting.
over the winter. And long story short, there are thicker winter sheets. We still have them on.
the
because
bed.
it's so
Okay. Even
cool.
if it was like I moved to the Arctic, I would still have the lightest little cotton sheets possible. I like to be cold at night, but anyway, to each their own.
Kyle's the same. Right now, we have two blankets on our bed because I'm like, he's like, oh, living the life, yeah. So it is definitely colder outside. You are right, Crystal. We are going to see cooler conditions, but temperatures are actually on the rise. So we are going to see a warm-up heading our way, but we do have some messy weather headed our way as well. Here's a live look at Fredericton. As of right now, 6 degrees starting off your day, so a bit warmer early this morning. 3 degrees in Charlottetown and in Halifax, 1 degree in Sydney, 0 starting off your day in St. John's, Newfoundland. Here's a look at the special weather statements we currently have in effect for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. For this evening until Friday, we have a bit of a soaking headed our way. Some heavier rain is going to move in this evening. A rainfall warning also in effect for the coastal region of New Brunswick this evening until Friday. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. A bit of a cloudier day ahead for much of the maritime region. Still seeing a bit of sunshine, though, for Newfoundland, Labrador, and parts of the maritime region. Increasing cloudiness, a chance of showers moves in this afternoon, around a 60% chance of it happening before periods of rain begin. Here's a look at our current wind across the maritime region. Will continue to pick up. A breezy day is ahead. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Lunenburg, 24 in Yarmouth, 19 in Canso, with wind gusts getting up to 37 right now in Lunenburg and 35 in Yarmouth. We'll take a look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert last night has been found safe. At 11:30 last evening, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquedompet Harbor. An hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, searchers are looking for a missing hiker in the Cape Breton Highlands National Park. Search and rescue crews set up a command center as they look for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by her family. They last heard from her back on April 14th. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the Visitors Center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grant Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. A political battle is growing over the way Nova Scotia Health calculates how many people have a family doctor or healthcare team. Critics argue a new reporting system might be painting a rosier picture than what's really happening. CTV's Jesse Thomas explains.
Health officials say their hard work around attaching Nova Scotians to primary care is paying off. As of April 1st, around 6% of Nova Scotians, nearly 62,000 people, remain on the Need a Family Practice wait list. That's down from around 9% last year. Department of Health and Wellness's top bureaucrat says the wait list has evolved.
But I think we have to remember that in 2021, there really wasn't a methodology. There was a spreadsheet with people's names on it.
But opposition argue the new methodology changes what attached means, and the disagreement centers around patients previously identified as pending attachment are now considered attached, even when they may not have had an appointment with the doctor or healthcare team.
They've changed the goalpost entirely. They've created a waiting room, essentially, for Nova Scotians, and they aren't able to say how many people are sitting in that waiting room waiting.
The NDP agree and raise similar concerns around patients who have been assigned to a primary healthcare clinic that had yet to open its doors.
Folks were being attached months ahead of time, before the site was even complete, before recruitment had been completed, as far as I understand. And so they were confused.
Health officials disagree, saying attachment doesn't mean a first appointment has happened. They argue it's when a patient has been assigned to a healthcare provider.
And calling our people attached when they have been given a health home and an assigned location, and that particular practice has been informed that they're being added to their actual list. I think that's a pretty accurate way to talk about being attached.
The next update to the patient registry is expected in early May. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Jesse. Bit of a surprise from what has been the fastest growing city in Canada over the past couple of years. Building permits in Moncton were down for the first quarter of 2026. 176 permits have been issued so far, most of them for downtown housing developments. However, the value of those permits is about $85 million less than what it was for the same period last year, which was actually a record.
The number is way above the 2017 to 2024 number, which was 17 million, ranging up to 57 million. We are looking at the numbers, obviously, but it's not the record-breaking year that we had last year, but it's way above average than the previous 10 years.
$86 million in residential permits have been issued since the start of the year. That represents 472 new homes for the growing city. Finally, we want to show you an unconventional camaraderie taking shape at a zoo in Budapest. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's these two. A tiny endangered monkey rescued from smugglers has found an unlikely friend in a South American anteater who is, believe it or not, 20 times her size.
Okay, so I thought that was an anteater. This
Yes.
is wonderful.
Yes.
Anteaters are really, really cool. What is this creature that's looking at us right now?
Let me double check my facts. A tiny endangered monkey rescued from smugglers.
Okay.
The exact breed, I cannot tell you at this time.
Thank you. Thank you.
But I wanted to bring you that fine report just to show you something adorable.
It was adorable.
It was
amazing. And both the animals look very healthy.
Yes, it seems like anteaters enjoy cream.
Yeah.
Milk?
Exactly. Who knows what that was?
They're
Unanswered
sharing.
questions. Like so many stories. It answers some questions, it leaves us with many more unanswered.
Yes, exactly.
All right, this is, if you're a horse racing fan and a hat fan, this is your big weekend. Horse racing fans have had a chance to check out the Dawn at the Downs this week. Members of the public can enter Kentucky Downs this week to check out the horses that they train for the big Kentucky Derby this weekend.
Wow.
Now, they train on the track from 5:15 to 10 a.m. The 152nd Kentucky Derby runs on Saturday. And I love to go to the harness racing track, especially in Inverness in the summer. It's so much fun, but I've never seen a thoroughbred racing track. That's where the jockey's right on the horse.
Okay.
Like the Kentucky Derby. Would love to see that one day.
Oh, yeah. That'd be really
Oh,
cool.
that would be something to see.
It would be cool. And the hat.
Fair.
The Kentucky Derby. It's
So
a great
fancy.
spring tradition, yeah.
Love it all. All right, still ahead, we'll have your first look at your national and international news headlines on this Thursday morning, and you'll want to keep a close eye on Latavia's forecast because, as you mentioned, boy, we've got some rain coming tonight into tomorrow. Until then, we're taking a live look at Port aux Basques, Newfoundland, home of the Marine Atlantic Ferry. We will have the forecast right after this. It's 6:10.
Good morning and happy Thursday. The time now is 6:13. We're taking a live look at Halifax. 3 degrees starting off your day. A rather cloudy start to the day. We do have a chance of showers expected into the afternoon. So starting off, not too bad. A bit cooler for parts of the region yet again, but we are seeing temperatures already begin to warm up. Warmer air is on its way. Temperatures will continue to rise. As of right now, it is 6 degrees heading outdoors in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown with 1 in Sydney, 0 into St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have watches and warnings currently in effect. A special weather statement for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. For this evening until Friday, we are going to see rain, at times heavy, around 30 to 50 plus millimeters expected. We do have a rainfall warning in effect along the Bay of Fundy coastline. This evening until Friday, rain expected to get heavy, 50 to 60 plus millimeters expected. So here's a look at our forecast timeline. A bit of sunshine for Newfoundland and Labrador this morning. We do have some sunny breaks for parts of New Brunswick, but other than that, a relatively cloudy day ahead. We are going to see a chance of showers move in mid to late afternoon. Around a 60% chance of it happening. Right in behind that, periods of rain begins, at times heavy into the overnight hours. This will continue to spread across all 3 maritime provinces into Friday morning. And for parts of Nova Scotia, that will be into Friday night as well, into early Saturday for Cape Breton Island, parts of eastern Nova Scotia. Here's a look at our rainfall totals accumulating as of right now. We're looking at around 2 to 20 millimeters for New Brunswick, heaviest into the Bay of Fundy coastline, around 20 to 30 millimeters. Looking at around 2 to 5 millimeters for Prince Edward Island, and then the heaviest for Nova Scotia being into the Tri-County area at around 40 to 50 millimeters expected for Shelburne. Now, Newfoundland and Labrador not seeing that total accumulation as of yet because this system will not make its way over until later Friday evening into Saturday. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from 8 to 16 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. We are going to see a bit of sunshine early on and then increasing cloudiness. Periods of rain begin into the late afternoon and evening. Wind also picking up out of the southeast, 20 gusting to 40. Prince Edward Island highs between 7 to 13 degrees today. Looking at a chance of showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving sunshine for the remainder of the day. Wind gusts of 40. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, cloudy start to your day. A chance of showers and or drizzle into the evening. Daytime highs will range from 4 to 15 degrees. And then for the rest of Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 7 to 13. Seeing a cloudy start to the day. A chance of showers expected into the afternoon. Wind gusts of 50 into the afternoon as well. 10 degrees for Labrador City. We do have a low chance of showers early on. That will clear out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud. Periods of drizzle into the overnight hours. Here's a look at that storm for Friday. We do have a risk of thunderstorms as well for mainland Nova Scotia. We are going to see the heaviest of that rainfall, as you can see here, indicated in the dark greens and yellows. So we are going to see the system begin to clear out into the evening hours, but still holding on to precipitation into the evening for much of the maritime region. Newfoundland, Labrador seeing this system move in early Saturday morning. A bit of mixed precipitation for parts of Labrador, but sunshine actually returns for the maritime region on Saturday. Temperatures warming up, seasonal to above seasonal for our daytime highs. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Well, we look forward to the Saturday forecast. Thank you so much, Latavia, for those details. To national news now. If you're looking at buying a home or renegotiating your mortgage, now may be the time to get serious. Experts are weighing in after the Bank of Canada held its interest rate at 2.25% yesterday. But the future is uncertain. CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver has more.
At Parkview Moving, the high cost of gas is making it harder and harder to run a profitable business, offering short and long-haul moves.
It's very difficult, and we don't want to pass that extra burden or cost on to our clients, so we're absorbing a lot of that cost ourselves.
And they're not alone. The war in Iran is driving up oil prices and squeezing both Canadian businesses and consumers. That spike, a main reason the Bank of Canada now sees inflation peaking at 3% this month and staying elevated until early next year when it's projected to return to 2%.
The best thing to do today is maintain the policy interest rate where it is. But I will stress that there is no risk-free path for the policy interest rate.
The bank decided to hold rates steady for now, but admits a lot could change in the coming months. If oil prices stay around $100 a barrel, consecutive rate hikes could be needed. At the same time, the bank says if new U.S. tariffs or trade restrictions are put in place, cuts may be needed to stimulate the economy.
The bank is committed to ensuring that Canadians continue to have confidence in price stability through this period of global upheaval.
So what does this all mean for anyone in the market for a new home? Mortgage experts say now may be the time to lock in a rate.
You can't time the market. The best bet for borrowers right now is to take out a rate hold and a pre-approval, because at least that way you have secured access to whatever today's rate pricing currently is.
With the potential for rate hikes already floated because of high oil prices, many real estate experts say now may be the time the housing market starts to heat up, with more buyers jumping off the sidelines. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada is the first G7 country to approve a generic version of Ozempic and its sister drug, Wegovy. Now, many are looking at what it means for people living with diabetes and obesity. CTV's Geneviève Beauchemin has more.
Months after Ozempic's patent expired, Health Canada has given a generic the go-ahead. And the approval of India's Dr. Reddy Laboratories' copy has been applauded by many patients and advocates.
And there hasn't been a whole lot of options available.
Obesity Canada's Eaton Patton says for him, semaglutides have been life-changing.
I had this voice in the back of my head always chirping at me, talking about with that uncontrollable food drive. And having a treatment that allows me to gain control has been very, very impactful.
Like Ozempic, says Health Canada, the generic injection is indicated for the once-weekly treatment of adults with type 2 diabetes. But around 3 million Canadian adults currently take medication like Ozempic for diabetes and obesity. Still, doctors say some patients who would benefit steer clear because of money. The drug costs about $228 a month. Health Canada says many generic medications are 45 to 90% cheaper than the brand versions. And that price could go down with more generics on the market. Health Canada is reviewing 8 other submissions. That could also reduce expenses for provincial and private drug plans deciding to cover the generic. Approval comes after an extensive review of the generic's chemical composition and effects, but does not require manufacturers to do long-term effect studies, for instance, on heart attacks and strokes.
Based on the assumption that if it looks the same, it has the same biochemical properties, it's chemically the same drug, it should have the same long-term effects.
Experts applaud accessibility, but also warn against minimizing potential side effects.
This is a drug. It's not a candy. It's not a supplement. It is a medication.
The generic dosage approved now is for the treatment of diabetes, but advocates are watching to see what other generics will come and what the impact will be on the costs. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Another break here on Your Morning Atlantic. On the other side of it, we will have your top business headlines, plus your must-see moment from TSN. Your Morning Atlantic will be right back. Please stay with us.
Move Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Weekday mornings on Move 100. The most fun in the morning. And home of the $1,000 minute. Only on Move 100 Halifax.
It's 6:24 on this last day of April. Time now to check in with our friends at TSN Sports Centre for today's must-see moment.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Wednesday. And for it, we head to Philadelphia, where the Flyers are hosting the Penguins. Less than 4 minutes to play. Brian Rust Gets alone in front, but he's stopped by Dan Vladar not once, but twice. Vladar misses a poke check, but gets the pad down and keeps it there to make a pair of great saves. Flyers won 1-0 in OT to win the series, making this sequence all the more important. It is your must-see moment from Wednesday. And coming up on TSN tonight, we have 3 Game 6s from the NBA playoffs. Our coverage of those 3 games gets underway at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. It's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
This TSN must-see moment brought to you by J.R. Rahe's Furniture and Appliances.
Now over to our business headlines from our colleagues at BNN.
These are the companies investing billions of dollars into artificial intelligence. Their earnings are an indication of whether those investments are paying off. Meta reported it is once again raising the amount it will spend on its AI build-out this year. The social media company projects it will spend between $125 and $145 billion US. It is paying more for components than its competitors since it's late to the AI race. Investors didn't like the news, sending the stock down in after-hours trading. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar not changed much. It's at 73.08. West Texas Intermediate up almost $7 to 106.88. Western Canadian Select up over $3 to 78.34. And the TSX lost 265 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marella Fernandez.
Taking a look at our 3-day forecast for New Brunswick, a high of 15 degrees today, mainly cloudy with showers moving in this afternoon. 12 degrees on Friday with rain across the province. On Saturday, sunshine returns with a high of 14. For Nova Scotia, looking at a high of 9 today. A cloudy start to your day. Scattered showers expected into the afternoon. 11 degrees on Friday. Rain and a risk of thunderstorms. On Saturday, sunshine for much of the province. We do have rain continuing for Cape Breton Island, a high of 13. Prince Edward Island, 9 degrees today. Showers and or drizzle will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. 9 degrees on Friday with rain across the island. And on Saturday, showers continue with a high of 13.
Coming up in this half hour, the Move Morning Chat. Today we want to know which maritime legend you'd want to have lunch with. Put your thinking caps on. That conversation coming up in about 15 minutes.
Good morning. It's 6:30, 7 o'clock. If you're in Newfoundland and Labrador, this is April 30th. It is the last day of April. Tomorrow, it is gonna be May. Gonna be May tomorrow. And I'm really looking forward to having a warm-up in temperatures, especially looking at that video of patio season along the beautiful waterfronts that we have around here. I can't wait for that to happen, but it's not gonna be happening today or tomorrow. I was looking at your forecast, Latavia. Saturday sounds like the real winner.
Yeah, it does.
But boy, we're getting a lot of rain tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we need it. I guess we need it.
We do,
but,
yes.
Like White Point, the grass is greening up nicely, but just imagine what it's going to look like on Saturday.
That's true. After that soaking that's headed our way. As you can see over in White Point, cloudy, foggy start to the day. We are seeing that across much of the maritime region early this morning. A chance of showers expected to move in late this afternoon and into the evening. That's when that period of rain will begin. Some heavier rainfall headed our way. So today it's going to be not too bad. Temperatures are going to warm up. Already starting to warm up for parts of the region. 6 degrees right now in Fredericton with 2 degrees in Charlottetown. 3 starting off your day in Halifax, 5 degrees in Yarmouth, 1 in Labrador City, and 0 into St. John's, Newfoundland. Because of that system headed our way, we do have a special weather statement in effect for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for this evening until Friday, with a rainfall warning in effect for the southern coastline of New Brunswick for this evening until Friday as well. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Sunshine for much of Newfoundland and Labrador. We are going to see a bit of sunshine for parts of the maritime region, but for the most part, a cloudy day ahead. Fog patches as well as a chance of showers moving in to mid to late afternoon. Here's a look at the current wind across the maritime region. Will continue to pick up as well. As of right now, seeing sustained wind, 30 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 26 in Lunenburg, 20 in Halifax, with 19 in North Cape, as well as Canso. Wind gusts of 35 kilometers per hour right now in Lunenburg. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead. First, a look at your local news with Amanda.
A missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert late last night has been found safe. At 11:30 Wednesday evening, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquodoboit Harbour. About an hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, searchers are looking for a missing hiker in the Cape Breton Highlands National Park. Search and Rescue set up a command center yesterday as they look for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by her family. They last heard from her a few weeks ago, back on April 14th. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the Visitors Center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grant Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. You can add Cape Breton's Seal Island Bridge to the long list of maritime spans facing traffic delays. The span between Boularderie Island and Kelly's Mountain is now reduced to 1 lane until June 5th. Workers are replacing 5 of the bridge's 7 joints. The Seal Island Bridge is more than 60 years old. A few years ago, the province announced work to extend the life of the bridge for another 10 or 15 years before replacing it. The New Brunswick government says healthcare is its top priority and insists it's making progress in hitting targets. However, as CTV's Nick Moore tells us, even the Premier and Health Minister concede there's some areas where they expected more progress.
There have been some bumps to work out.
Today, Premier Holt and Health Minister Dr. John Dornan gave an update on flagship healthcare promises, with collaborative healthcare clinics being one of the biggest. The clinic in Tantramar has so far taken 277 people off the wait list, with the target being 1,000 people.
You know, early in my mandate, I thought, well, collaborative care clinics are going to fix everything. It's not quite that simple. They go a long way, but there's lots of care opportunities adjacent to that.
Progress is being made, but we still face real challenges. You'll have heard me describe challenges on data, challenges with space, challenges to move as quickly as we would like, as we still see turnover of healthcare professionals.
Holt says there has been positive movement on recruitment.
Ending March 31st of 2026, we had the highest net increase in physicians in the province's history at 67. The nurse turnover at Horizon in particular has improved significantly and is stabilized at 0.93%.
Holt says $10,000 retention bonuses have helped. Paula Doucette is president of the New Brunswick Nurses Union.
I think the retention payments have played a small role. Absolutely. But I think there's other factors too. I think that, you know, the fact that the province and regional health authorities are out there recruiting.
Nick Moore, CTV News, Fredericton.
Moncton is getting a new facility to help the homeless and people with mental health issues. The group home is located in Salisbury and will offer support through a joint project between the provincial government and alternative residences. The province purchased the home as part of a program to cut homelessness by 40% over a 4-year period.
The 40% reduction in chronic homelessness is a big deal. It will be a difficult target to hit. The train was speeding in the opposite direction, and it's not as simple for us to say to stop the train and turn it around. We've got to build a whole new set of tracks in the other direction. Projects like this help.
It really is intended to be a very comfortable home for people that are living with mental illness, because it's important for us to provide supportive housing for people who are really looking to get their lives back into a different place, and we'll work with them on those objectives.
The facility for men and women is scheduled to open next month. Finally, in entertainment news, Oprah has signed a new deal with Amazon. The multi-year licensing agreement includes specials that will focus on her favorite things, as well as book club, video podcasts. It will also include the library of the Oprah Winfrey Show, and those episodes will still be available on YouTube along with her new content. Oprah's still making waves.
There's somebody I'd like to have lunch with.
Oh, that's a good point, too.
That's a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
But she's not a maritime person.
No, she's not. I can't remember what year it was, but Steve Murphy definitely interviewed her. Gosh.
Wow.
At some point in the 90s, Steve Murphy interviewed her. Yeah, yeah. It was. She wasn't in town. It was one of those satellite interviews.
Okay.
Right before the days of Zoom.
Right.
Yeah, back in the day.
So
wow,
cool.
Very cool.
So cool. I decided who my person is going to be.
Okay.
Ooh, yes.
It's going to be Vincent Coleman. He's the guy who sent the message to the train telling them not to come in to when the explosion happened, and he saved us. I feel emotional. I just want to let him know that it was for nothing.
Oh,
yeah.
You saved a lot of people.
Saved a lot of
lives.
And we haven't forgotten about you either.
No.
Hopefully the ferry named after you will get fixed soon.
Yes, Vince Coleman. Yeah, good point. All right, still ahead, we will have your entertainment headlines, but we are going to go into the Move Morning Chat after Latavia's forecast. We want to know, who would you want to be your maritime lunch date? What maritime legend would you like to sit down and have a conversation with? That conversation coming up right after this.
Welcome back. The time now is 6:42 on your Thursday morning, taking a live look at Grand Bay Westfield. 4 degrees starting off your day. Bit cloudy. You can see a bit of sunshine, though, and behind those clouds, we do have a chance of showers expected late this afternoon to move in, around a 60% chance of it happening. So we are seeing temperatures not too bad starting off the day, a bit cooler for parts of Atlantic Canada, others a bit warmer. 6 degrees right now in Fredericton, with 2 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, cooler in Sydney at 1 degree, 3 degrees in Halifax, and 1 in Labrador City. Over to our watches and warnings currently in effect. A special weather statement for New Brunswick and parts of Nova Scotia this evening until Friday. Could see around 30 to 50 plus millimeters. Rain, at times heavy, is expected to move in. Also have a rainfall warning along the Bay of Fundy coastline. This evening until Friday, heavier rainfall around 50 to 60 plus millimeters. So over to our forecast timeline. Sunshine early this morning for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. For the Maritime region, a relatively cloudy morning ahead. We do have a chance of showers moving in late this afternoon, carrying into the evening, transitioning over to steadier rain, at times heavy. That will continue in the forecast for Friday, where we do have a risk of thunderstorms as well, and that heavier rainfall is expected to continue across much of the Maritimes. If you're wondering about rainfall totals from now until early Friday morning, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters for much of New Brunswick, heaviest being 20 to 30 millimeters along the coastline, and then the heaviest for Nova Scotia being 40 to 50 millimeters for Shelburne, 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland, Labrador, not seeing that accumulation as of yet. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, a cloudy start to your day, seeing periods of rain move in late this afternoon and evening. Daytime highs will range from 8 to 16 degrees and wind gusts picking up to 40 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, highs between 7 to 13 degrees. A chance of showers and or drizzle early in the morning, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Rain will arrive into the evening. Wind gusts of 40 expected as well. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs between 4 to 15 degrees. A cloudy start to your day. Showers and or drizzle expected into this evening. Wind gusts of 40. For the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same. We're looking at a cloudy start to your day, a chance of showers into the afternoon. Rain with a risk of thunderstorms into this evening. Daytime highs between 7 to 13 degrees. For Labrador City, 10 degrees today. Looking at light showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland. Looking at a mix of sun and cloud throughout your day. Periods of drizzle into this evening. Here's a look at that system moving in Friday. We are going to see it spread across all 3 maritime provinces. A risk of thunderstorms for parts of mainland Nova Scotia. Heaviest of that rainfall situated in that dark green and yellow. And then into Friday night, we start to see the system clear out for parts of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, continuing to make its way over to Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing wet weather their way on Saturday. Saturday's forecast for the Maritime region looking quite nice. Lots of sunshine returns, but we will be seeing temperatures warm up as well. That's a look at your weather. Going to throw things over to the Move Morning Chat. Welcome back to the Move Morning Chat. This morning we're talking about lunch. Specifically, who would you have lunch with in terms of a famous maritimer? Aaron, why are we talking about this?
I don't know. Why not? We love to dream about, you know, little dates we could go on with somebody famous, the questions we would ask them. So, you know, naturally, Peter immediately had an answer. Peter, I'll let you go first.
I do have an answer, and I'm not even sure that this guy is famous. Some people will know who he is, but I don't think very many. I want to have lunch with Andrew McLean, a New Brunswicker from the North Shore of New Brunswick, and the author of Backyard History. He's got a podcast. He writes columns. And this sounds so much like me, but I found him through podcasting. This is something he started during COVID, and he's got all of these great stories about places and people all over the Maritime. So I'm looking at his podcast right now, the Maritime Tour that made Houdini famous. I love that particular podcast. He's got great stories. Another one about, did Babe Ruth detox in the woods in New Brunswick? This is stuff that most of us have never even heard about, but he spends a lot of time researching, and I could spend a lot of time talking to him as well.
Yeah, you're right. That is the most Peter answer I've ever heard in my life. Meanwhile, there's me saying, I want to have lunch with Anne Murray. Hello, Canada's songbird. You know what? Anne Murray, she's just so chill. She's so iconic, a trailblazer. I just kind of want to sit down and be like, what do you do with your days? Where do you like to go in Halifax? What's your favorite restaurant? I just want to just know the little things, right? So anyway, I think having lunch with Anne Murray would be such a pleasure. So that's who I'm picking.
I think she golfs quite a bit. I think that's the answer in her spare time. I'm going to go to someone who's actually passed. I would pick Viola Desmond.
That's a good one.
I would love to sit down and talk to her and just hear what she thinks about the impact that she's made, not only in Nova Scotia or the Maritimes, but across Canada. What would she think about being on the $10 bill, like on our currency used across this country, that her story is being taught in school? To have the opportunity to sit down and talk with her, that would just be so moving and incredible and potentially life-changing. I think that would be, if we could pick anyone, that's who I would pick.
Awesome. Great one. Okay, for me, it would probably be Molly Rankin. I would love to talk to her about her band Always. It was such a great band. I love their music. Is a great band. And I would love to pick her brain about like how they came across lyrics for their songs. And yeah, to learn more about them, because a few of them are from the Maritimes, I believe.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to throw this question to our viewers. We're asking you, and I'm going to throw it out, alive or dead. You get to have lunch with one local maritime legend. Who are you inviting and why? Let us know. Maybe you agree with our list. Someone new you want to add, tag 400 is the number, and we will share your responses a little later.
Welcome back. It's 6:52 on this last day of April. Just a little note for our contest today, the Pay Your Bills contest to win that $20,000. We're having a little computer glitch with it. So we are on it. We're fixing it. As soon as we get the word that everything's good to go, we'll let you know what the code word is, and you can enter for your chance to win today.
Yes, absolutely. All right, now we're going to head over to Hollywood, and we'll take a look at those entertainment headlines.
How is anyone supposed to find something real on a night like tonight?
Imagine a world where single people are only allowed to have sex once per year. That's the premise of the new film, One Night Only, starring Oscar nominee Monica Barbaro and Callum Turner. The rom-com arrives in theaters August 7th. Country superstar Keith Urban is sailing the seas of yacht rock with a new covers album called Flow State. Urban also teams up with the king of the yacht rock genre, Doobie Brother Michael McDonald. They perform an original song on the album, which is due out June 12th. Janet Jackson will make a special appearance at this year's Grammy Hall of Fame Gala in Beverly Hills. She'll be there to celebrate the induction of her 1989 album Rhythm Nation 1814 into the Grammy Hall of Fame on May 8th. And happy birthday to Kirsten Dunst. The Academy Award-nominated actress turns 44 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
All right, well, in a few weeks, Sydney will host the East Coast Music Awards. And this week it was announced Cape Breton will also welcome the country's top folk singers next year.
Yeah, that's a big announcement. The Canadian Folk Music Awards will be handed out in the city in the spring of 2027. CTV's Ryan McDonald tells us more.
The Barra McNeils are well known for their Celtic music. Today, they played a few tunes to help announce that the 2027 Canadian Folk Music Awards are coming to Cape Breton.
What took them so long?
Lucy McNeil won an award last year when the event was held in Ottawa. As lifelong performers, she and her brother Boyd know what something like this can bring to their home island.
Your restaurants are full, your bars, your venues, they get to know the area, so I think it's a win-win for everybody.
And this is the first time we've been to the province, let alone Cape Breton itself.
It's 4 days of music and awards set for April 8th to 11th, typically a slower shoulder season time of year, and it's expected to bring not only musicians and delegates to town, but folk music fans too.
We had fans from Calgary say they wanted to buy wristbands. So they're going to be coming here. So what we do is we drag people from other events to join us and have a blast.
It's safe to say that, you know, this would be an economic impact in the millions.
The head of Destination Cape Breton says the hosting fee for winning the bid is $75,000, with the island also welcoming the East Coast Music Awards next month and Celtic Colours in the fall. He says having all of these big music events, one after the other, should help build momentum for the Cape Breton brand.
It's a big reason why people come here. So the more music events that we can have, the more festivals we can have, it all helps.
And there is a component of the event announced today that is seen as an exposure opportunity for local artists.
With a buyers program like this and a national buyers program coming in, all the musicians, including Cape Breton musicians, get the chance to interact with festival owners and buyers from across the country and even around the world.
Representatives from the Canadian Folk Music Awards will spend more of this week in Sydney and surrounding communities touring venues and preparing for next spring. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Such great news, and so great to hear that people are already interested in getting their wristbands for next year.
Very exciting.
All right, a little note. Okay, we're still about the contest. We're working on it, the Pay Your Bills contest to win $20,000. Normally, we give you a code word, you enter it. Well, there is a glitch with the computer today. So we have our best people on the problem. We're hoping to get it solved by 9 a.m. As soon as we know, we'll let you know so you can have your chance to win today. But we're on it.
Yeah, we're taking care of it.
We're taking care of it. Okay.
All right, we're going to talk about the weather now.
Let's do that because it's something you want to prepare for.
Absolutely. All right, so starting off today, it's mainly cloudy skies for New Brunswick, a high of 15 degrees. We have a chance of showers this afternoon, transitioning over to rain into the evening. On Friday, 12 degrees with rain across the province. Saturday, though, sunshine returns with a high of 14. For Nova Scotia, a cloudy start to the day, scattered showers into the afternoon, periods of rain with a risk of thunderstorms this evening, a high of 9. 11 degrees on Friday with rain across the province. On Saturday, sunshine for much of the province. We have rain continuing for Cape Breton Island and a high of 13. Prince Edward Island, 9 degrees today. Showers and or drizzle will clear, leaving a mix of sun and cloud. Rain arrives on Friday with a high of 9 yet again. 13 degrees on Saturday with showers across the island.
It is Thursday, April 30th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Irving Oil faces charges over a diesel leak in Woodstock, New Brunswick a year and a half ago. We'll have your top news headlines in just a few moments.
And the important work being done by the Breakfast Club of Canada. We'll speak with the organization's CEO about the changing food needs in schools. Those stories and so much more are coming up in this half hour of Your Morning Atlantic.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7 o'clock, and guess what? The sun will come out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Today, not so much for the Maritimes.
The sun will come out tomorrow? I thought tomorrow was the torrential rain.
Oh, sorry. I think today is my Friday, so I'm wrong. It's Saturday.
The sun will come out on Saturday.
Tomorrow's tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's
It will be
It is my Friday. I'm not here on Friday, so.
No,
yeah.
you got the day off. That's okay. So it's the sun.
Misinformation.
Yeah, exactly. The sun will not come out tomorrow. Quite the opposite.
No, you're in
fact.
for a soaking tomorrow.
Yeah, singing in the rain tomorrow.
There we
Exactly.
go.
There we go.
Delightful.
Why do you guys let me open the show? I'm too tired.
Well, I'm telling you, it's been quite an effort to keep track of all the weather this week. It's been cold. It's been windy. Now it's torrential rain.
Yeah.
Maybe torrential isn't really an official weather term. I'll leave that to you, Latavia.
It's going to be quite a wet day ahead, but today not so much. We are starting off quite cloudy for the maritime region, a bit of fog for parts of the region as well. Charlottetown, 2 degrees early this morning, so it is remaining cool. We are going to see temperatures rise a little bit later on. Seasonal to below seasonal for our daytime highs. 6 degrees right now, though, in Fredericton, 1 degree in Sydney, 3 degrees starting off your day in Halifax. Looking at 3 degrees as well for Happy Valley Goose Bay, and -2 over in Gander. Here's a look at the special weather statement currently in effect because of the system moving in this evening until Friday. For parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, we're looking at some heavier rainfall, as well as a rainfall warning in effect along the Bay of Fundy coastline this evening until Friday as well. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. Sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, though, but other than that, for the maritime region, a cloudier day ahead, fog patches, and looking at a chance of showers moving in late this afternoon. And then into the evening, that's when we start to see that heavier rain move in across the maritime region. In terms of the wind for the Maritimes, it's going to be a breezy day ahead, picking up into the afternoon. As of right now, though, 30 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 26 in Lunenburg, 20 in Halifax, 19 in Canso and North Cape. Wind gusts getting up to 35 kilometers per hour in both Edmundston and Lunenburg. We'll take another look at our forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Now to developing news. Emergency crews are responding to a fire this morning in Nova Scotia's Queens County. Few details this hour, but RCMP do say the 3700 block of Highway 3 in Brooklyn is closed this morning due to the blaze. First responders are on scene. There is also a detour to Highway 103. RCMP say drivers should expect delays. CTV News has reached out to the Brooklyn Fire Department for more details regarding the blaze itself. A missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert last night has been found safe. At 11:30 Wednesday evening, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquodoboit Harbor. An hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, in Cape Breton, searchers are looking for a missing hiker in the Highlands. Search and rescue teams set up a command center yesterday. They're looking for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by family. They last heard from her roughly 2 weeks ago on April 14th. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the Visitors Center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grant Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. Now to a bit of surprise from what has been the fastest growing city in Canada over the past couple of years. Building permits in Moncton were down for the first quarter of 2026. 176 permits have been issued so far, most of them for downtown housing developments. However, the value of those permits is about $85 million less than what it was for the same period last year, which was actually a record.
The number is way above the 2017 to 2024 number, which was 17 million, ranging up to 57 million. We are looking at the numbers, obviously, but it's not the record-breaking year that we had last year, but it's way above average than the previous 10 years.
$86 million in residential permits have been issued since the start of the year. That represents 472 new homes for the growing city. Health officials in PEI are seeing a sharp decline in cases of RSV. It's a respiratory virus that can cause severe infections in infants and older adults. They say that since an RSV protection program was introduced in 2024, Hospitalizations linked to the virus have declined by 93% among infants and 52% among seniors. At first, the program offered vaccines to residents of long-term and community care homes. And in the fall of 2025, it was expanded to include infants and independent seniors over the age of 75. A Nova Scotia Health Centre community college are dealing with unique pest problems right now, specifically birds. CTV's Callum Smith explains.
All is quiet on this Dartmouth Community College campus right now, but a few times a week for a couple weeks, that's not the case.
They let off a bit of a loud bang. It's between 110 and 120 decibels up on the roof. Of course, that gets a little louder as you travel downhill. The campus is on a hill, and there's some whistling sound as well. They are a pest control company trying to prevent seagulls from nesting on the roof, specifically around ventilation systems. It's a critical time for them nesting. We're trying to prevent that from happening up on a roof so we can perform the work that we need to do up there on a routine basis. That's because last year there was a nest with 3 young seagulls that called the roof home.
Bird droppings, as they dry, they can aerosolize, and then those particles get into the HVAC system or air intakes of buildings, and we could be breathing those in, which could be harmful to people, in addition to just their corrosive nature.
At the Bears Lake Outpatient Center in Halifax, the problem is geese. These decoy coyotes will be set up along with reflective material to keep them away. Nova Scotia Health didn't want to talk about how bad things are.
If they're nesting, they can be quite aggressive, protecting their nest. But if they're just hanging out in our juvenile geese, they're not too much of a problem, other than they do leave a lot of droppings behind.
This might come as a surprise, but both gulls and geese are protected species, making the job of getting rid of them much more difficult. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you so much, Callum. How many viewers are thinking, I want one of those fake-looking coyotes to keep pests away in my yard?
Oh my gosh. I find that animals evolve though. Things that used to work on them to keep them at bay, they're like, nah.
Like those fake owls.
Yeah,
sometimes
I know.
away.
Oh, like pigeon, they don't care about that anymore.
Rarely does it work. Scarecrows.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
But let's talk about animals in a different way, all right? There is a ton to celebrate in Florida. There's a zoo there where there's a new koala habitat opening and a newborn for the habitat.
Aww.
Yes.
Koalas are definitely a staff favorite as well as guest favorite, and having a joey is just really special. I think it's really telling how comfortable these koalas are here at the zoo, that they have a joey, and Ellen here is doing a great job at being a mom.
Oh, you kind of see a little joey in the background. That joey is starting to emerge from its mother's pouch after being born last fall. The group of koalas is on loan from Australia to the U.S. for conservation purposes. The new habitat is meant to mimic the Australian outback and help support the natural behaviors of koalas. So, Amanda, you're our resident Australia expert, having been there once. How are they doing?
Listen, I've heard great things. Oh, we definitely fell in love with koalas, seeing them. And we were at a sanctuary for them. We're so fortunate, and we got to pet their backs.
Yeah, what does it feel like?
So soft and so cute. And we had gone around the park, and we had missed that a bunch of them had little babies, and we hadn't even noticed because they were so tiny and curled up with their mom.
Gosh, marsupials are fascinating.
They are so cute.
Very sweet. All right, still ahead, we have your national and international headlines, including details on tax deadlines. That's fun. But before that, we have Latavia's rainy forecast. Also fun. Oh, boy. Going to Nova Scotia South Shore, good morning to our viewers at the world-famous UNESCO heritage site, Lunenburg. We'll have the wet forecast right after this.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:13. We're taking a live look at a foggy, cloudy start to the day in St. John's, Newfoundland. We are expecting sunshine this morning and periods of drizzle into the evening. So here's a look at our current temperatures. Not too bad starting off the day for parts of the region, but a bit cooler for others. 6 degrees right now in Fredericton, 2 degrees in Charlottetown and Sydney, 3 degrees in Halifax. Looking at 4 degrees over in Happy Valley Goose Bay and 0 in Corner Brook. Here's a look at the special weather statement currently in effect for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for this evening until Friday, as we have a low pressure system moving in, bringing rain, at times heavy, at around 30 to 50 plus millimeters expected. We do have a rainfall warning as well along the Bay of Fundy coastline this evening until Friday. Heavier rain expected again, 50 to 60 plus millimeters. So here's a look at our current system. We are going to see a cloudy start to the day for much of the Maritimes, a bit of fog patches as well developing. Newfoundland and Labrador seeing a bit of sunshine early on, but also going to see increasing cloudiness into the late afternoon. So for the Maritime region, we do have a chance of showers moving in late this afternoon, transitioning over to steady rain into the evening, and this system will make its way over across all 3 maritime provinces into Friday morning. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, we are going to see accumulation from this system, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters for much of New Brunswick. Heavy is being 20 to 30 millimeters for St. John and Grand Manan. For Nova Scotia, the heavy is being 40 to 50 millimeters for Shelburne, only 2 to 5 millimeters for parts of Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland, Labrador not seeing accumulation from the system yet. Here's a look at our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from 8 to 16 degrees. Mainly cloudy start to your day. Rain arrives into the late afternoon and evening. Wind gusts pick up to 40 kilometers per hour this afternoon. For Prince Edward Island, a chance of showers and or drizzle early in the morning, tapering off, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees, wind gusts of 40 expected as well. And then for Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs will range from 4 to 15 degrees, being the warmest into Amherst. A cloudy start to the day, a chance of showers and or drizzle arrives into the evening. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, pretty much the same, a cloudy start to the day. Showers expected into this afternoon. Daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees and periods of rain with a risk of thunderstorms into this evening when gusts pick up to 50 kilometers per hour. For Labrador City, a high of 10 degrees. We do have light showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, seeing sunshine today. Periods of drizzle into this evening. For our forecast on Friday, a wet day is ahead for all 3 maritime provinces. A bit of heavier downpours and a risk of thunderstorms expected for mainland Nova Scotia, indicated in the heavier green, the darker green, I should say, and yellows. Then this system will start to clear out slowly into Friday evening for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, making its way over to Newfoundland and Labrador for our forecast on Saturday. And for the Maritime region on Saturday, looking at sunshine returning and temperatures warming up. That's a look at your weather forecast. Going to throw things over to Amanda.
Thanks, Latavia. Time is 7:16. Today is Personal Tax Deadline Day. Many Canadians are still scrambling to file on time. CTV's John Benavali-Rao spoke to an expert about the best strategies if you're getting a refund. 2, 3, 4.
We asked financial planner and author Jessica Morehouse to lay out $100 stacks of 20s to show what Revenue Canada says is the average tax refund.
So this is how much? This is
$2,000. And for those getting cash back, we had the simple question. What do you plan to do with your tax refund?
Well, hopefully to invest it into the stock market.
Probably spend it on more bills. Unfortunately.
Probably take my family out on a vacation, maybe just me and my husband, you know, kids are older.
According to a survey, only 9% of those getting a refund plan to spend it on something discretionary, like a trip or dining out. Morehouse routinely posts videos about financial matters and recommends people should first use the cash to establish an emergency fund that can cover 3 to 6 months of expenses.
And emergencies can take all types of forms. It can be job loss. I know a lot of people are really concerned about job security now more than ever, but it could also be your pet gets sick. Bam, that's a $700 vet bill.
If that's looked after, she recommends using the refund to pay down high-interest debt like on a credit card. With a recent survey finding 36% of cardholders don't pay off their monthly balance.
That's a great place to put it. And then, you know, figure out why did we get into credit card debt? How can we make sure we don't get into credit card debt again?
If those are paid off, Morehouse thinks among other wise moves would be to save or invest within a tax-free savings account where your money can grow, or contribute to your registered retirement savings plan. And if you want fun money, she says it's okay to spend on that too.
For some people that don't want to just do all the boring stuff I just mentioned, maybe give yourself, 10 or 20% of your tax refund to do something nice with. with for yourself.
Meanwhile, surveys show about 4 in 10 Canadians are counting on their tax refund to pay for everyday expenses, a sign of the cost of living pressures many are facing. John Valley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen and his fellow Artemis astronauts landed at the White House yesterday, weeks after returning from their mission around the moon.
They're very brave, and that was a lot of rocket under them. I never saw anything like that. We were talking about it. It's I don't know how they do it. I wouldn't want to do it, but it takes people like this to make our country great. And again, I've never seen anything. Everybody I knew, they wanted to see the launch, and they especially wanted to see a successful landing.
The U.S. president praised the astronauts for their bravery. He had invited them to the White House during a call when they were in space. Quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. When we return, we'll have a conversation about food insecurity and how the Breakfast Club of Canada is helping combat that. That conversation from Moncton coming up next.
Welcome back, almost 7:23. Food insecurity is a real and growing challenge here in Atlantic Canada and across the country. On average, more than a third of Canadian children eat breakfast in a program supported by the Breakfast Club of Canada. Here in Atlantic Canada, those organizations help more than 50,000 children start their school day with a meal. Joining us from Moncton is Julie Descharnay, President and CEO of Breakfast Club of Canada. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to shine a spotlight on the important work that you're doing. For those who don't know, what is a Breakfast Club of Canada?
So the Breakfast Club of Canada has been around for 30 years, more than 30 years. So it's been around many, many years, and is really, our mission is to deliver nutritious breakfast to children in schools. So we've been doing that for, like I said, 30 years. And here in the Atlantic regions, we, like you said, we're reaching about 50,000 each day. And across Canada, we're talking about 1 million children each day that has access to a breakfast, nutritious breakfast. So that's quite impressive. And the thing that I wanted to highlight this morning is you're talking about cost of food and all the insecurity right now. We're talking about 2.5 million of children that would need a breakfast each morning.
Yeah, for people who don't realize the impact you're having, I've heard from people in the education system that in some cases this breakfast meal is the healthiest meal that these children can count on in their lives.
And it's true, and for us, it's really something that we've been trying to push forward for many, many years. And it's not only the nutritious breakfast, but it's also the way to go to school, being in schools, and really making sure that you have everything that you can have to make sure that you're there, you can learn, and you can thrive, right? So having a nutritious breakfast is really to start your day the right way, I would guess.
Literally be fueled and ready to learn. Now, you did mention food insecurity a moment ago. Is that changing the way you're able to do the work that you do?
It does, right? So food inflation has an impact on everybody and has an impact on us, of course, because we do buy the food that we deliver to schools. So I'm sorry. So it has an impact on the way we deliver. And we're trying, we're with partners. Of course, we have a lot of partners that help us get the food to the schools. So we're trying to find a way to make sure that we keep on going forward with that. You see Feed New Brunswick, that's been a partner for us for many years here in New Brunswick, but across Canada, to make sure that we get the standard, we continue on with the standard that we want, which is a nutritious breakfast, to make sure that they have all they need to start the day right.
So you're in Moncton for the Impact Southeast NB Nonprofit Forum at the Coliseum. What are you most looking forward to at this event?
And it's really a forum that takes on to the challenge that we have right now in the non-for-profit. As you know, and we talked about that, the inflation has an impact on everyone. And so the challenges that we face are there every day, and is really to take a step back and just to see what's going on, and can we learn from each other to make sure that we continue on the mission that we all have. For us, it's the children; for others, it's communities, families, and just to have that exchange, that collaborative, I would say, mindset in how we deliver and how we can continue delivering, and making sure that our teams that are there and doing the work have everything that they can also to deliver what we want and make sure that, Canadians have what they need.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for shining a spotlight on the work that you're doing. I hope that you have a productive conference. And we will put our website, your website, on ours so people can find out more about how they can help you if they're in a position to do so. All right, have a great day.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now. We'll turn our attention over to Latavia with the 3-day forecast.
Thanks, Crystal. Starting off in New Brunswick today, mainly cloudy skies start off your day. We do have a chance of showers this afternoon with a high of 15. 12 degrees on Friday with rain across the province, clearing out on Saturday, leaving sunshine with a high of 14. For Nova Scotia, 9 degrees today, cloudy start to your day, a chance of showers this afternoon. 11 degrees on Friday, rain and a risk of thunderstorms. 13 degrees on Saturday, sunshine returns for much of the province. Cape Breton Island still seeing rain. For Prince Edward Island, 9 degrees, showers and or drizzle starts off the day, clears out, leaving sunshine, rain on Friday with a high of 9. 13 degrees on Saturday with showers across the island.
Just ahead in this half hour, the Halifax Seniors Expo. We'll chat with the organizers about this weekend's event and the program and professionals attending, all with the goal of helping older adults age well at home. That conversation coming up in just a few minutes on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Well, hello. Welcome back. 7:30 already on this Thursday, last day of April. A little reminder, we're getting notes from our viewers. Our Pay Your Bills contest to win that $20,000. Well, we're having some issues with the computer today. So we're not going to give out the code word because we don't want you to be frustrated. When you go to the site right now, there's a bit of an error message. The best tech people we have are working on it. As soon as it's fixed, we'll let you know. We're hoping it's before 9 a.m., but just continue to check that site after 9 a.m. if we don't get it fixed by then. But fingers crossed, it's only 7:30. Got an hour and a half to get this figured out.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We're glad that you love it so much because we love it as well.
We love it too. It's fun to give you guys a chance to win lots of money.
Absolutely.
All right, so weather-wise, I want to turn the stage over to you because we're getting a lot of rain and people need to know kind of when and how they can be prepared for that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
It's a sensitive subject.
Yes, very sensitive. Here's a live look at Antigonish. A cloudy start to the day. We are expecting a low chance of showers into the afternoon. Picking up into the evening, that's when we start to see that system bring us heavier rainfall. Currently 3 degrees in your area, so a bit cooler starting off your day. Make sure to layer up before heading out. We are seeing temperatures rise very slowly, but we are going to see seasonal to below seasonal daytime highs headed our way. 6 degrees right now in Fredericton, 2 degrees in both Charlottetown and Sydney, 3 in Halifax, 5 degrees in Yarmouth, 4 degrees over in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 2 degrees in Corner Brook. A special weather statement has now been issued across New Brunswick and parts of Nova Scotia this evening until Friday, as we are expecting that rain at times heavy to move in. A rainfall warning as well for the coastline of New Brunswick for this evening until Friday as well. So here's a look at our satellite and radar. We are seeing some sunshine in the forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Other than that, though, a cloudy, foggy start to your day for much of the maritime region. A chance of showers expected late this afternoon before transitioning over to periods of rain. In terms of the wind forecast, we will be seeing a breezy day ahead. As of right now, looking at 22 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 20 in Halifax, 24 in Lunenburg, 20 into North Cape. Wind gusts getting up to 37 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 35 right now in Edmundston, and 28 in Charlottetown. We'll take a look at that rainfall accumulation coming up soon, but first, taking a look at our local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Happening now, emergency crews are responding to a fire this morning in Nova Scotia's Queens County. Few details this hour, but RCMP say the 3700 block of Highway 3 in Brooklyn is closed due to the blaze. First responders are on scene. There's also a detour in place to Highway 103. RCMP say drivers should expect delays. CTV News has reached out to fire departments in Brooklyn and Liverpool for more details on the fire itself, but haven't heard back yet. A missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert last night has been found safe. At 11:30 Wednesday night, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquodoboit Harbor. An hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, searchers are looking for a missing hiker in the Cape Breton Highlands. Search and rescue teams set up a command center on Wednesday. They're looking for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by her family. They last heard from her back on April 14th, just over a week ago. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the visitor center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grant Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. Moncton is getting a new facility to help the homeless and people with mental health issues. The group home is located in Salisbury and will offer support through a joint project between the provincial government and alternative residences. The province purchased the home as part of a program to cut homelessness by 40% over a 4-year period.
The 40% reduction in chronic homelessness is a big deal. It will be a difficult target to hit. The train was speeding in the opposite direction, and it's not as simple for us to say to stop the train and turn it around. We've got to build a whole new set of tracks in the other direction. Projects like this help.
It really is intended to be a very comfortable home for people that are living with mental illness, because it's important for us to provide supportive housing for people who are really looking to get their lives back into a different place, and we'll work with them on those objectives.
The facility for men and women is scheduled to open next month. Air passengers in St. John will soon have more options. Porter Airlines has just announced new flights and easier connections. And as CTV's Avery McRae tells us, travelers have Montreal to thank.
A quiet board of flight information at the St. John Airport. But soon travelers will have more options out of YSJ.
For the community, it's great. It's essentially a Porter Network flight.
Starting June 15th, Pascan Aviation, in partnership with Porter Airlines, will fly twice weekly and once on weekends to the Montreal Metropolitan Airport. St. John Airport CEO Court Edinburgh says the deal will mean travelers can leave St. John on Pascan in the morning and arrive in Vancouver by lunchtime on a Porter plane through one booking.
Our flights that we have now are almost at capacity or at capacity, and all of our studies that we do on a daily basis, and we have consultants that help us with, the airlines themselves do it, all the data points that there is a ton of demand here.
The demand isn't just in St. John. The opening of the new Montreal airport is bringing additional Porter flights to Halifax, Moncton, and Charlottetown.
We couldn't be more excited than we are for opening a design from scratch terminal in Montreal Metropolitan Airport. And part of that is our own rapid growth into a dozen destinations in the first month.
Porter Airlines Vice President Andrew Pierce says the additional flight will give Maritimers easy access to Montreal, similar to Billy Bishop Airport in Toronto. He also says the new flights are timely with high summer demand. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. St. John, the little airport that could. I've definitely flown in and out of there.
I've been there.
Yes. Yeah, you've been there too.
But I've been there.
Yes.
Yeah, love it. I love a little airport. Just easier to get around.
Oh, yeah. Especially security. No.
For sure. Halifax, a good size. Good.
Yeah.
It's a small airport. All right. Well, if you want to travel to India, we'll pack light because it's hot this week. Everybody's trying to stay cool there.
Oh, you mean everybody.
So these elephants at one sanctuary are being given watermelons and cooling baths. Their keepers are even spraying them with water in the 35-degree daytime temperatures. That's not factoring the humidity. Elephants get sprayed with water as they play. Yeah, I wouldn't mind volunteering to help them out.
Yeah, me too.
A little bit for you, a little bit for me.
And we'll be talking about hot temperatures soon enough in our region, but we're not talking about them yet.
No, not yet.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the day where we go, you know, I don't want to say it, but it's a little too hot.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't wait.
It's hard to imagine.
I know, it is.
It's nice outside, and then you just kind of like, the wind gets you.
Yeah, it's the wind that gets you.
That's always. April, but this is the last day of April, so we'll see what May has in store.
And warmer weathers mean patio weather, which means a nice spot for a lunch. We're asking you, as part of our morning question, you have to get lunch with one local maritime legend. Who are you going to invite? and why? We're throwing this. They could be past or present. We want to know who you want to sit down with and have a good conversation with.
Yeah, I want to have this conversation. Love to know more from you on who you'd like to chat with.
Yeah, send us a text, 10-400. We're the ones answering it. It's also how people have been reaching out to us regarding the contest as well. So
yes,
definitely.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, another break on this Thursday morning. Lots still to come. Latavia has more details on all that heavy rain we're getting tonight and tomorrow. And then after that, aging well at home. That's what the Halifax Seniors Expo is all about. We'll chat with the founder about this weekend's event. That's coming up on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 7:43. We're taking a live look at McAdam. A cloudy start to your day. 5 degrees as of right now, though. And we do have a chance of showers moving in later this afternoon. So we are going to see some wet weather headed our way, especially into this evening. That's when that rain, at times heavy, will move into the maritime region. But as of right now, 6 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 2 degrees in both Charlottetown and Sydney, 3 in Halifax, 2 degrees in Labrador City, and 1 degree in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement currently in effect for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for this evening until Friday, as we are expecting that low pressure system to bring heavy rain at around 30 to 50 plus millimeters expected. Along the Bay of Fundy coastline, we do have a rainfall warning for this evening until Friday, looking at some heavier rainfall totals between 50 to 60 plus millimeters. Over to our forecast timeline. As you can see here, a bit of sunshine for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. We do have a cloudier day ahead for the maritime region. Fog patches are developing, and we do have that chance of showers, around a 60% chance of it happening into this afternoon. And then into this evening, transitioning over to rain, at times heavy, spreading across all 3 maritime provinces. Into our forecast for Friday, a wet soaking is ahead. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, going to pick up, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters for much of New Brunswick. Heaviest being around 20 to 30 millimeters for St. John and Grand Manan. And then for Nova Scotia, the heaviest being 40 to 50 millimeters for Shelburne. And for Prince Edward Island, only seeing around 2 to 5 millimeters. Not seeing any accumulation for Newfoundland and Labrador just as yet. For our forecast today for New Brunswick, daytime highs will be around 8 to 16 degrees, being the warmest into Moncton. Increasing cloudiness and looking at chance of showers or rain into later this afternoon, carrying into the evening. Wind gusts also picking up to 40 kilometers per hour. For Prince Edward Island, daytime highs between 7 to 13. Showers start off the day and or drizzle that will clear out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs will range from 4 to 15 degrees, being the warmest into Amherst. Cloudy start to your day, a chance of showers and or drizzle moves in into the afternoon and evening. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at a cloudy day ahead, daytime highs between 7 to 13 degrees, and looking at a chance of showers into the afternoon, transitioning over to rain into the evening with the risk of thunderstorms. For Labrador City, a chance of showers early in the morning, clearing out, leaving mainly cloudy skies, a high of 10 degrees today. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, periods of drizzle into the evening. So for forecast on Friday, the first day of May, we are going to see rain, at times heavy, indicated in that darker green and yellow, looking at a risk of thunderstorms for mainland Nova Scotia. Into the evening hours, we start to see the system break down for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, making its way over to Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing a bit of a wintry mix to Labrador. For Saturday's forecast, though, temperatures warm up and we see the return of sunshine, Crystal.
Right, that's perfect for our next event. The Halifax Seniors Expo is taking place this Saturday at the Links at Brunello in Timberley. It's a chance to learn more about the resources out there in the community to help you and your loved ones live independently for as long as possible. And for many, that means aging well at home. Here to tell us more is Cameron Laba, who's the founder, owner of Golden Living Senior Lifestyle Support, and one of the vendors at this weekend's expo, Laura Lundquist, founder of Zoomers Physiotherapy. Good morning to you both.
Good morning, Crystal.
So you've been doing this expo now for 4 years, Cameron?
4 years.
If it's new to anybody out there, what actually happens at this expo?
So this is a one-day community event for seniors, adults, children, caregivers, and everyone kind of in between, supporting an aging loved one at home.
Okay.
We really want to, we know that aging at home is such a possibility now, and we want to give the community the resources and the services that exist in our community to support them.
All right, one of the vendors is you, Laura, with Zoomers.
Yes.
How much does physio impact your ability to age in place?
Well, I mean, how much time do you have?
So a lot then.
A lot. I mean, you know, in order to, I always like to say, to live at home independently, it's like a sport, right? There are strength requirements, balance requirements, mobility requirements. in addition to many other things, but the strength, balance, and mobility are a big part of our role as physios, helping support people. So that's what we spend a lot of time doing, both in our clinic, and then we also provide some in-home services for people as well.
So I guess, probably, so it sounds like you could start training now, anywhere you are in your life, but if you are actually someone who is getting in the golden years and your mobility might be limited, is there anything you can do sort of late in the game to improve?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And we always suggest, we actually do a type of assessment called a Fit for Life assessment, which is really this idea of making sure that your body has the strength, balance, and mobility in order to get through your life with good success, right? And one of the things we look at a lot is ankle mobility and strength. Because when we think about falls and trips, which are often a big concern for seniors, sometimes if our ankles, we think a lot about, whether or not we can stand on one foot, those sorts of things, but also the flexibility and strength in our ankles makes a big difference as to whether or not we catch the edge of a carpet or a bathroom rug, which we shouldn't have. Yeah, but that's another story.
Definitely. Yeah, so hopefully you'll get into a demonstration of exercise in a second. But Cameron, you've done a great job of curating a variety of different people in our community that offer services that can help seniors live in place. What is it that you do, though, at Seniors Golden Living?
Yeah, so we provide companionship-based care. So that companionship word is such an umbrella for many different things. We basically provide a non-medical home support that enriches the lives of seniors. So we're combating loneliness, we're combating social isolation, and we're really giving families peace of mind to have their senior be okay at home and thrive at home.
Okay. All right. So Laura, we have a second. Show us an exercise. I heard actually from one of your vendors last time that quad strength. I'm just going to go like this a little bit. That could be just keeping those quads strong is a difference of being able to get up out of a chair on your own.
Absolutely. If I could pick one exercise actually for everyone, it would be the sit to stand, but you have to make sure you can do it safely.
Okay.
So here's another one that you can work on at home if you're sitting in a chair. So ankle flexibility, the ability to lift your toe up so that you don't catch the edge of a carpet when you're stepping is really important. So just even doing a little toe tap, put your favorite music on and just tap away for a couple minutes. That helps strengthen the muscles at the front of your legs that lifts your toes up. Right?
Okay.
The other thing is you need the calf muscle in the back of your leg to be flexible. So you can take, this is a coat strap, thank you, Cameron, that you can just put around your foot. You can use a house coat tie, anything, and then you straighten your knee and just pull up this way, and you should feel that stretch behind the calf here. Now, you got to be a little careful if you've got any history with your back. Check with your healthcare provider before you try it, but it is a great stretch for the calf muscle, as long as it doesn't bother your back.
That's the kind of thing like you're doing in a train. Can I borrow that? Yeah. I probably have tight calves. Thank you. These are indoor shoes. It won't ruin it. You're good. But yeah, like, oops.
Slippery bottoms.
Yeah. Oh, that feels good. But this is the kind of thing you can, there'll be demonstrations on site.
Giveaways, prizes, community support. I keep saying, anyone that comes to the expo will learn something.
All right, it's only Saturday. This year, it's at a new location. Tell us about it one more time.
It's at 120 Brunello Boulevard, which is the Lynx Brunello Golf Course. It's a beautiful pavilion overlooking the golf course. Free parking, accessible, right off the highway. It checks many boxes.
Okay, perfect. Well, it just sounds like a great opportunity to learn what's out there. And thank you both for coming in today and telling us about it.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure.
All right, it is now time to turn our attention over to Latavia with a 3-day. Oh, actually, Amanda with health and medical news.
That's okay, I'll take it. Thank you so much, ladies. Health and medical news now. We have details of that Ozempic generic drug. And could Canada follow the UK's lead in banning tobacco sales to young people? Let's do the topics in Your Health. Health Canada has approved the first generic version of brand name Ozempic, making it the first G7 country to authorize generic semaglutide. The injectable medication is manufactured in India and has been approved for the weekly treatment of type 2 diabetes in adults. The drug is often prescribed off-label to help with weight loss. The generic version is expected to be cheaper than Novo Nordisk's Ozempic, which can cost hundreds of dollars a month. Health Canada says it's looking at submissions from 8 other companies. The federal health minister is suggesting Canada may follow the UK's lead and ban smoking for young people.
I'm looking into it right now. We saw what UK did, but I'm looking into it with all partners for now.
Last week, British lawmakers approved a bill banning anyone born after 2008 from ever buying cigarettes in a bid to create the first smoke-free generation. The bill also tightens rules around vaping and other nicotine products.
Finally, in the U.S., the FDA has approved the first gene therapy for inherited hearing loss. It only requires a single treatment, and after 5 months, 16 out of 20 children born deaf had hearing improvement. Out of the 12 followed for a year, 5 gained normal hearing. Only about 50 babies are born in the U.S. each year with the rare genetic mutation. Treatments usually cost millions of dollars.
And now we'd like to introduce you to the Maritimers who are marking milestones today. It's a 60th anniversary for Gordon and Shirley Chaplin of Middle Stewiacke, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, congratulations, you two, 60 years.
Happy anniversary.
And it's a 73rd anniversary for Frank and Joyce Brown of Jordan Falls, Nova Scotia. Look at them gazing into each other's eyes.
73 years.
Yes, I hope that this awesome lawn chair was an anniversary gift because it's fantastic.
Absolutely. Happy anniversary. And to see your milestone again or to find out how to submit one, visit our website by scanning the QR code on your screen. And a reminder, milestones must be received 2 weeks in advance. Okay, I am a big Oak Island fan, so this is right up my alley, okay? So the curse of Oak Island turned into a blessing for one Nova Scotia historian.
Fans of the popular show come from all over the world to take tours of the famed site. And as CTV's Emma Convey reports, one of them may have saved his life.
This is where it all began in 1795, and hopefully this is where it's going to end, one way or the other.
The global hit TV series The Curse of Oak Island is filmed here. It holds a special place in historian Charles Barkhouse's heart. He grew up in the area and has a passion for the over 220-year-old mystery. Last September, while guiding a tour, he also met his guardian angel here.
After the tour, we get back to the base area there, and a lady got off, and she was approaching me, and I thought she was going to ask me a question about Oak Island, but she introduced herself, and she said, "Could I examine your neck?" And she kind of felt my neck, and she said, "You got to call your doctor immediately."
Which is exactly what he did. After several tests, he was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
They took the cancer out, discovered that it was a medullary thyroid cancer, which, if left undetected and untreated, will affect your liver, your lungs, and is fatal.
It's a rare and aggressive form of cancer. They also removed over 40 lymph nodes. 23 of those were cancerous too. He's thankful for the mystery tourist every day.
I put a post up about this because early detection and early treatment for anything is important. And there were some things stated on the internet that just wasn't true, and I wanted to set the record straight. So I refer to her as my guardian angel.
Barkhouse doesn't know her name. Given the turn of events, he wishes he had taken her contact information to thank her.
Everything lined up. It was like a perfect storm that day. You know, everything lined up, and she was in the right place at the right time. And I wish she was here right now. I would thank her, because I'm telling you, she probably saved my life.
Now that he's on the mend, he's preparing for another season of tours. The team is getting the center up and running and adding more exhibits for Oak Island enthusiasts.
We've been shut down basically since COVID, but last year we started up the tours, and the response was just amazing. There's so many people just want to come here and experience it. You know, I've often had people say, "Well, do you mind if I take a rock?" And I'll say, "Well, as long as it's not gold or silver color, yeah, you can take any rock you want."
As for the show, season 14 premieres in November. It will showcase not just the curse, but the blessing of Oak Island. Emma Convey, CTV News, Oak Island, Nova Scotia.
Oh, the money pit. All right, taking another look at our 3-day forecast. 15 degrees for New Brunswick today. Mainly cloudy skies with a chance of showers into the afternoon. 12 degrees on Friday. Rain across the province, but sunshine returns in the forecast on Saturday with a high of 14. For Nova Scotia, a cloudy day ahead with a high of 9. Scattered showers expected into the afternoon. Evening rain. 11 degrees on Friday. Rain with a risk of thunderstorms. 13 degrees on Saturday. Sunshine returns for much of the province. Cape Breton Island holds on to precipitation. For Prince Edward Island, 9 degrees today. Showers and or drizzle will clear, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. On Friday, 9 degrees with rain. Showers on Saturday with a high of 13.
The
#1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's Thursday, April 30th. Today on Your Morning Atlantic, Irving Oil facing charges over a diesel leak in Woodstock, New Brunswick a year and a half ago. One of the topics in your top news headlines in just a few moments.
And wildfire concerns. We're coming up on the 10th anniversary of the Fort McMurray wildfires. And we'll look at how that event and fires closer to home have changed awareness and raised concerns. That and more just ahead on Your Morning Atlantic.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. It is the last day of April. Thursday, April 30th. May is here tomorrow. Cue up NSYNC to play It's Gonna Be May. Me.
It is that time.
It is that time.
I love that you do that every year. Every year. So we'll likely play tomorrow. Maybe not, though, because the TV, you're going to be taking the day. So
yes,
you can just play it on repeat on your own private.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my goodness. Peggy's Cove. Okay, the water's moving today.
Oh, yeah. We are
churning.
It is
yeah,
churning.
It is churning. Times are changing. All right, here's a look at the cloudy skies. You can see here a bit of fog developing early this morning across parts of the maritime region. We do have a chance of showers moving in late this afternoon before we see that heavier rainfall move in across the maritime region. As of right now, 3 degrees in Halifax, 2 in Sydney and Charlottetown, 6 degrees starting off your day in Fredericton, 1 degree in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement currently issued across parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for this evening until Friday as we see that system move in, as well as along the Bay of Fundy coastline. We have a rainfall warning in effect. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. We do have sunshine in the forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but for the maritime region, a cloudy day ahead. We are going to see a chance of showers for parts of the maritime region late this afternoon, and then seeing rain move in for all 3 maritime provinces this evening until Friday. Here's a look at the current wind across the maritime region. It will be a breezy day ahead into the afternoon. As of right now, 22 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 24 in Lunenburg, 20 in Halifax and North Cape, as well as into Edmundston. Wind gusts getting up to 37 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 31 in Edmundston, and 28 in Charlottetown. We'll take another look at your forecast just ahead, but first a look at your local news with Amanda.
Emergency crews this morning are responding to a fire in Nova Scotia's Queens County. Few details this hour, but Nova Scotia RCMP say the 3700 block of Highway 3 in Brooklyn is closed this morning due to the blaze. First responders are on scene. There is also a detour to Highway 103 in place. RCMP say drivers in the area should expect delays. CTV News has reached out to local fire departments for more details on the blaze itself, but haven't heard back yet. Meantime, the region of Queens municipality says the use of municipal fire hydrants may impact the water quality for some customers in the area. A missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert last night has been found safe. At 11:30 Wednesday night, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquodoboit Harbour. An hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, searchers are looking for a missing hiker in the Cape Breton Highlands. Search and rescue teams set up a command center on Wednesday. They're looking for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by her family. They last heard from her back on April 14th, just over a week ago. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the Visitors Center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grand Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. A new survey suggests a growing number of Maritimers feel that home ownership is all but slipping away. The survey by Abacus Data found 77% of people believe housing in their area is unaffordable. The Nova Scotia Association of Realtors commissioned the study.
37% of Nova Scotians are optimistic that home ownership is attainable in the future. 40% are pessimistic to somewhat pessimistic that home ownership is attainable.
Nearly 9 in 10 residents view housing as a concern with respect to affordability and availability. So it is a top tier issue among residents. 3/4 say housing in their area is not affordable today.
The Realtors Association says the younger generation, aged 24 to 35 in particular, feel homeownership is slipping away from them. Health officials in PEI are seeing a sharp decline in cases of RSV, a respiratory virus that can cause severe infections in infants and older adults. They say that since an RSV protection program was introduced in 2024, hospitalizations linked to the virus have declined by 93% among infants and 52% among seniors. At first, the program offered vaccines to residents of long-term and community care homes, and in the fall of 2025, it was expanded to include infants and independent seniors over the age of 75. Unfortunately, this is a sign of spring. You don't have to go very far in the Maritimes to find litter now that the snow is gone. Coffee cups, candy wrappers, and other discarded items peppering sidewalks and roadways. And as CTV's Jonathan McGinnis reports, he takes us to one community where residents took the unsightly mess into their own hands.
Personal trainer Rick Horseman got a workout of a different kind this past weekend.
I put a call out to my members, and 24 of us showed up here, and we just litter picked up and down Cole Harbour Road from Otago to Cumberland, and we gathered 100 pounds of garbage.
Horseman, also known as Rick My Trainer, says it only took them an hour to fill their bags.
A lot of cigarette butts, a lot of flossers, those little tooth flossers, a lot of those, and just miscellaneous wrappers, plastic.
City spokesperson Jake Fulton says crews have been out since early this month, and they have a lot of ground to cover.
Through this spring cleanup, we will go through 1,500 kilometers of roadway cleaning, and that's about 3,000 kilometers of curbs that'll get cleaned, and then all the sidewalks and bike lanes that run along them.
The debris can't be cleaned up fast enough for Michael Hammer, whose daily walks aren't as pleasant as they could be if the garbage was gone.
They need bring somebody out there cleaning it up, I guess. And I'm not sure whose responsibility it would be, but it certainly does take away from the ambiance of the area, yes.
Residents can call 311 to report garbage on municipal property. Anything on private property is the responsibility of the owner. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
Okay, contesting. Good news, bad news. Let's start with the bad news, shall we? We're having a little trouble with the Pay Your Bills $20,000 contest. The computer, there's a glitch. We're working on it, but we're hoping to have it up ASAP. We'll let you know when that is ready. Here's the good news.
All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Someone in Nova Scotia is about to become very happy. We're going to announce the winner of the QE2 Home Lottery Early Bird Prize. Drum roll, please. The winner is Thomas Calhoun of Carleton, Nova Scotia. He won an Audi and Fiji Early Bird Prize or the $200,000 cash. Totally up to you, Thomas.
Wow.
We are so excited to say that you are winning that prize. Gosh, Audi and Fiji trip, or it's all first class, or $200,000 cash tax-free. That's a tough one. For more information on the QE2 Home Lottery, visit QE2HomeLottery.com.
Lucky, lucky.
It pays to be an early bird because you can get more than the worm.
Yeah, exactly. Thomas, your name's going back into the drum, so to speak, for your chance to win the QE2 show home in Oakfield Park, and of course the gorgeous one in Fall River.
Oh my gosh, what a prize!
Imagine getting that call.
I know.
Wow.
Imagine, but they hand the keys. Let's pretend right now, Latavia, congratulations.
I would be beside myself. Like.
Oh my God, what a time. But also to win.
She fainted into her new duvet.
Oh my gosh, but to win the early bird prize, that's a huge prize too. Thomas
That's a great prize.
Gosh, he's probably just jumping up and down. Gosh, well, yeah, the control room wants to know, would we pick the $200,000 or the car on the Fiji trip?
Give me the money.
Give me the money, 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 money.
I think I would also take the money just because I've got some plans, like lots of stuff I could use that money on right now, but
Yeah.
Everyone's
the
taking
whole
the money.
control room's
Yeah.
taking the money. Life's expensive, but Fiji's does sound nice.
You could also just take the car, take the trip, sell the car later.
That's true.
Get
That is
some
true.
money.
And the trip
Who
is
knows?
all first class. You know, it's been my dream to fly first class sometime. And Fiji's pretty far away, so you'd get the bed.
That would be really comfy.
Yeah,
We'll have to ask Thomas.
Yeah, we'll ask Thomas. We'll follow up.
When you make your decision, Thomas, call us up and let us know. Text us at 10400. Let us know what you picked.
We are the one checking that. All right, another break here. We will have the forecast. Lots of rain on the way. Here's a live look at a cloudy uptown St. John this morning. Good morning to all our viewers in the Port City. We'll be right back with the forecast and details on today's tax deadline as well. That's coming up.
Good morning, Atlantic Canada. The time now is 8:14. We're taking a live look at a cloudy start to the day over in Bedeque. Currently 3 degrees in your area, so a bit cooler starting off the day. We do have a chance of showers and or drizzle expected into late this afternoon. So starting off the day, a bit warmer for parts of the region, cooler in others. We are going to see below seasonal to seasonal daytime highs today. As of right now, it is 6 degrees in Fredericton, 3 starting off your day in Charlottetown with 2 degrees in Sydney, 4 in Halifax, 6 already in Happy Valley Goose Bay, and 3 degrees in Corner Brook. A special weather statement has been issued for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia for this evening until Friday as we see this slow-moving low-pressure system make its way over, bringing rain, at times heavy. Looking at around 30 to 50-plus millimeters expected. Also seeing a rainfall warning in effect along the Bay of Fundy coastline. This evening until Friday, we could see around 50 to 60-plus millimeters expected. Here's a look at our forecast timeline. A bit of sunshine early this morning for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. For the maritime region, a relatively cloudy start to the day. Fog patches are developing. We are going to see a chance of showers into the afternoon. This is the late afternoon, and then into the evening, seeing periods of rain, at times heavy, move in for New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, spreading across all 3 maritime provinces into our forecast for the 1st of May. If you're wondering about rainfall totals, we will be seeing accumulation here at around 10 to 20 millimeters for much of New Brunswick, the heaviest being for St. John and Grand Manan at 20 to 30 millimeters, and then the heaviest for Nova Scotia, 40 to 50 millimeters for Shelburne, only seeing 2 to 5 millimeters for Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland, Labrador, not seeing any accumulation from the system just as yet. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from 8 to 16 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. Looking at a chance of showers into the afternoon and then into later this evening. We will be seeing periods of rain move in, at times heavy, and we are going to see wind gusts pick up as well, 40 kilometers per hour. Prince Edward Island highs between 7 to 13. Showers and a drizzle actually starts off the day, clearing out, leaving a mix of sun and cloud into the afternoon. Rain into the evening, wind gusts of 40. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, daytime highs will range from 4 to 15 degrees. We do have a cloudy start to the day. Showers and or drizzle expected into this evening. Wind gusts of 40. For the rest of Nova Scotia, looking at wind picking up. East 30 gusting to 50. A cloudy start to your day. A chance of showers into the afternoon. Rain at times heavy with a risk of thunderstorms into this evening. Labrador City looking at a high of 10 degrees today. Showers throughout your day, clearing out, though, into the mid to late afternoon, leaving mainly cloudy skies. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at sunshine throughout your day. Evening drizzle expected. So for Friday's forecast, rain at times heavy, a risk of thunderstorms as well, indicated in that dark green and yellow. We are going to see the system slowly clear out of the maritime region, starting off in New Brunswick and parts of Nova Scotia into Friday evening, making its way over to Newfoundland and Labrador, bringing Labrador a bit of a wintry mix. Saturday's forecast, though, lots of sunshine for much of the maritime region, and we will be seeing temperatures warm up yet again. That's a look at your weather. I'm going to throw things over to Amanda.
Time for Tax Talks. Tax time is almost finished. Canadians have until the end of today to file their 2025 income tax returns, but self-employed Canadians, they have until June 15th to file theirs. For more on this and what Canadians can do with their returns, we bring in CTV's Scott Hurst. Good morning, Scott. As mentioned, most Canadians, they have until later today to file their 2025 income taxes. What else can you tell us about important details?
Yeah, good morning, Amanda. It might be a daunting time, but also it could be potentially beneficial. As you mentioned, at the end of day today is the deadline for most people to file your taxes as the calendar flips to the 1st of May as of tomorrow. as I mentioned, potentially beneficial, so don't let the daunting aspect get in the way. Last year, Canadians filed more than 33 million tax returns, with 93% filed online. In fact, and here's the benefit, more than 45 billion in refunds were delivered last year. According to the CRA, taxpayers receiving an average refund of about $2,000. That is money coming back to you to use, of course, however you want. Now, in terms of filing this year, the CRA says backlogs and delays are being addressed. The claims responsiveness has doubled. That is in part, it claims, with the help of AI-driven modernization. Also, more tools than ever to help file. Service enhancements, it says, have made it easier to recover credentials, track your return or refund, and pay a balance. As we said, the deadline for most people is tonight if you're self-employed. However, there is still time, Amanda. That deadline is coming up on June 15th.
Okay, so you mentioned millions of Canadians are expected to receive tax refunds. The Canada Revenue Agency, you mentioned around $2,000. That's the average that Canadians get back. Experts also warning not to blow that money. So what are some ways Canadians can spend it?
Amanda, of course, it's so tempting as soon as that money gets back into your account to maybe spend it frivolously. Experts, however, suggest putting most of it toward debt or saving, but also setting aside a little bit for some of those guilt-free spending. So that is some of the advice from tax experts. Of course, it means potentially putting it to tax-free savings accounts or RRSPs, as a recent survey by EQ Bank found only 9% of people expecting a refund plan to spend it on discretionary items like travel or dining out. Right now, of course, so many of us are focused on affordability, so money back in our accounts is definitely a welcome bonus. Another expert suggestion includes setting up an emergency fund if you don't already have one, particularly when right now job security is top of mind for so many people. Also, paying down high-interest debt, another good option, like lines of credit or credit card debt. As a recent survey by Vividata suggests, about 36% of Canadian credit card holders typically carry a balance. So, as we mentioned, today is the deadline. A lot of Canadians expecting a return, and just a little bit of advice so that you can spend it wisely and also maybe give yourself a treat, Amanda.
Oh, 2,000. Could you even get a FIFA ticket for that?
Definitely not the good ones.
That's a good point. Scott, thank you so much. Very timely advice there.
Thanks, Amanda.
CTV Scott Hurst reporting live for us from our national newsroom in Toronto. A quick break here on Your Morning Atlantic. Please stay with us. We'll be right back tomorrow, marking the 10-year anniversary of one of the most devastating wildfires in Canadian history. We'll look back on that and look ahead in just a few moments.
Welcome back. It's almost 8:24. Now, tomorrow marks the 10-year anniversary of one of the most devastating wildfires in Canadian history. On May 1st, 2016, a wildfire began southwest of Fort McMurray, and 2 days later it tore through the community, resulting in the largest wildfire evacuation in Alberta's history, with roughly 88,000 people displaced. It destroyed 2,400 homes and buildings in Fort Mac and continued to spread across Alberta and into Saskatchewan before it was declared under control. Now, 2 months later, that had destroyed 500,000 hectares, and for many Canadians, the fire marked a turning point in how we scale and impact wildfire risk. Now, a new national survey by First On-Site Property Restoration suggests that awareness has spread well beyond traditional wildfire zones. Joining me this morning to talk about this is Jim Mandeville, Senior Vice President with First On-Site, and he's helped lead large-scale restoration efforts in Fort Mac as well as the Jasper wildfires. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning.
So 10 years later, Fort McMurray, what has actually changed in how Canada deals with wildfires?
Well, you know, I think there's been a bit of an inflection point in really understanding that these fires are going to happen, and it's a move from total suppression to managed wildfire response. So we really need to manage the fuel. And if the fire is not a risk to a community, if it's really far away, if it's not a risk to you know, anything else, we let it go, and it takes care of that fuel. Really what we see, you know, when these things impact communities is a failure to manage that fuel, and those fires get out of control really fast.
So more Atlantic Canadians are concerned about wildfires, we've learned from your survey, but are they more prepared for wildfires?
I think when I talk to Canadians, you know, as I have the opportunity to do pretty regularly, it's definitely a lot more front of mind. You know, these large scale disasters have happened. We've had, you know, this fire and several more since. You know, when I grew up, the thought was wildfires were a thing that happened way in the north or in the mountains. People are like, no, it doesn't happen here. But now we see these things happen a lot more close to home. We saw a major city severely impacted in Fort McMurray. I mean, just in the last couple of years around the HRM, we've seen what these can do. So I think that's really brought it home to a lot of Canadians, and they're really thinking a lot more about it now.
Definitely. I mean, Fort McMurray, I think that was the pivotal event when Canadians really started to feel that wildfires could impact their lives. And then when we had the fires in our region and throughout Atlantic Canada, we had a lot of concern. Is it we talked about the preparedness aspect, but what do you think is the biggest disconnect when it comes to people being aware of wildfires but actually being prepared?
I mean, the biggest disconnect, I think, is that people think that just because they're listening to the news, they're prepared. Everybody should be prepared for any sort of natural disaster in their community. So they should understand what their evacuation routes are, especially if they live coastal here in Atlantic Canada. They should have at least 3 days or 4 days worth of prescription medication, and you have to have some cash. A lot of times when these disasters happen, the power goes out, the internet goes out, the cell phone signal goes out, and if you need gas, you might need cash to pay for it. So really having some stuff together and ready to go is really important no matter where you live. Most importantly is looking after you and your family and your pets and being ready to go. And when they say go, when the authorities say go, they mean it. It's not an advisory. It's, if they say evacuate, it's time to go.
You've been on the front lines of recovery. What do most people misunderstand about wildfire recovery?
Well, I think a lot of people, have these sort of grand visions of what happens with a fire in the city, where you've got a bunch of firefighters standing around with hoses spraying water on a building. While that does happen, the vast majority of firefighting is done through cutting fire breaks and directing the fire. So it's a lot of bulldozers. It's a lot of, cutting trees and moving earth to be able to steer the fire away from the community. Wildfires often are so large that there's very little we can do to put them out. It's more about controlling that fire, controlling the direction, and then working with nature, with the wind and with the weather, so that it'll either go out on its own or steer away from our communities and our assets.
That's interesting. We only have about 30 seconds left, but if there's one key lesson from Fort McMurray that still hasn't been learned, what would that be?
Certainly listen to the evacuation notices. When it's time to go and to be prepared. I think there were a lot of people caught off guard by that. There were a lot of people who, just had to leave with the clothes on their back, basically, and try and get out of the way. Be ready, regardless of the risk to your community.
Well, thank you so much for this reminder this morning, Jim. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
You too. We're going to take a break on our show. It's 8:28. We'll be back with the last hour of Your Morning Atlantic right after this.
Still ahead this morning, beauty gift ideas for mom. The clock is ticking on Mother's Day, but there's still more than a week to pick up a gift, especially something very thoughtful. We're going to get some great gift suggestions if you're stuck. Just ahead here on the Thursday edition of Your Morning Atlantic.
Morning. Thank you so much for joining us. The time now is 8:32. The last day of April, the first day of May ends off the work week.
That's right. That is right. First weekend of May.
And they say April showers bring May flowers. Well, we're certainly starting off the month of May with some showers, but
yes.
Worth pointing out, too, it's hard to believe it's been 10 years since the Fort McMurray wildfires and the intensity of wildfires. It certainly makes us appreciate when we do get the wet weather.
Absolutely. We do need it. Yeah, for sure.
Ooh, look at my roundabout. It can use a little bit of rain. It's greening up nicely.
I know. It's taking a turn for the better. Here's a look at Hampton. It is cool, though, to start. Just keep that in mind. As of right now, it's 4 degrees heading outdoors. Cloudy start to the day. We do have a chance of showers and or drizzle into the late afternoon before seeing that heavier rain move in across all 3 maritime provinces this evening. 7 degrees right now in Fredericton, with 3 degrees starting off your day in Charlottetown, 4 in Halifax, 6 in Yarmouth. also into Happy Valley Goose Bay, and we're looking at 2 degrees right now in Gander. Here's a look at the special weather statement currently in effect for parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. This is for this evening until Friday. We're looking at rain at times heavy, and also seeing a rainfall warning in effect along the Bay of Fundy coastline for this evening until Friday. A bit of sunshine remains in the forecast for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador, but for the most part for the maritime region, a cloudy and foggy day ahead. We do have a chance of showers late this afternoon before seeing that heavier soaking heading our way into the evening. Over to the current wind for the maritime region continues to pick up. As you can see here, it's going to be a bit of a breezy day. As of right now, 28 kilometers per hour in Yarmouth, 22 into North Cape, 20 in Edmundston, Lunenburg, and Halifax. Wind gusts getting up to 31 right now in Halifax, 30 into St. John, New Brunswick, and 28 in Canso. We'll take one last look at your long-range forecast just ahead, but first, one last look at your local news with Amanda.
Thank you, Latavia. Emergency crews are responding to a fire this morning in Nova Scotia's Queens County. We're still working on gathering more details, but we can tell you RCMP say the 3700 block of Highway 3 in Brooklyn is closed this morning due to the fire. First responders are on scene. There's also a detour to Highway 103. RCMP say drivers should expect delays. CTV News has reached out to fire departments in the area for more details on the blaze itself, but we haven't heard back yet. Meantime, the region of Queens municipalities says the use of municipal fire hydrants may impact the water quality for customers. A missing Nova Scotia senior who was the subject of an emergency alert last night has been found safe. At 11:30 Wednesday night, RCMP issued an alert for a woman missing from Musquodoboit Harbor. An hour later, RCMP issued an update saying she was safely located. Meantime, in the Cape Breton Highlands, searchers are looking for a missing hiker. Search and rescue teams set up a command center on Wednesday. They're looking for a 62-year-old woman from Australia who was reported missing by her family. They last heard from her back on April 14th, over 2 weeks ago. The woman's rental car was found Tuesday in the parking lot at the visitor center. New Brunswick-based Irving Oil Limited is facing charges after 180,000 liters of diesel fuel leaked into the ground near a gas station in Woodstock. The provincial government says the company is facing 2 charges under the Clean Environment Act, as is another company called Grant Enterprises Limited. The charges relate to the leak itself and the alleged failure to report it. Under the act, the companies are facing a maximum fine of $1 million. You can add Cape Breton's Seal Island Bridge to the long list of maritime spans facing traffic delays. The span between Ballardery Island and Kelly's Mountain is now reduced to 1 lane until June 5th. Workers are replacing 5 of the bridge's 7 joints. The Seal Island Bridge is more than 60 years old. A few years ago, the province announced work to extend the life of the bridge for another 10 or 15 years before replacing it. This is a bit of a surprise from what has been the fastest growing city in Canada over the past few years. Building permits in Moncton were down for the first quarter of 2026. 176 permits have been issued so far, most of them for downtown housing developments. However, the value of those permits is about $85 million less than what it was for the same period last year, which was actually a record.
The number is way above the 2017 to 2024 number, which was 17 million, ranging up to 57 million. We are looking at the numbers, obviously, but it's not the record-breaking year that we had last year, but it's way above average than the previous 10 years.
$86 million in residential permits have been issued since the start of the year. That represents 472 new homes for the growing city. The city of Moncton is also getting a new facility to help the homeless and people with mental health issues. The group home, located in Salisbury, not far from Moncton, it will offer support through a joint project between the provincial government and alternative residences. The province purchased the home as part of a program to cut homelessness by 40% over a 4-year period.
The 40% reduction in chronic homelessness is a big deal. It will be a difficult target to hit. The train was speeding in the opposite direction, and it's not as simple for us to say to stop the train and turn it around. We've got to build a whole new set of tracks in the other direction. Projects like this help.
It really is intended to be a very comfortable home for people that are living with mental illness. Because it's important for us to provide supportive housing for people who are really looking to get their lives back into a different place, and we'll work with them on those objectives.
The facility for men and women, it's scheduled to open next month. Health officials in PEI are seeing a sharp decline in cases of RSV, a respiratory virus that can cause severe infections in infants and older adults. They say that since an RSV protection program was introduced in 2024, hospitalizations linked to the virus have declined by 93% among infants and 52% among seniors. At first, the program offered vaccines to residents of long-term and community care homes, and in the fall of 2025, it expanded to include infants and independent seniors over the age of 75. Well, if you're just tuning in to the show, well, we're happy you can join us. But if you've been watching since 6 o'clock, we just wanted to show this video again. It's an unconventional camaraderie taking shape at a Budapest zoo. Can we give it up one more time for this tiny monkey?
It's beautiful.
And the South American anteater being best buds. Apparently, this tiny endangered monkey was rescued from smugglers and has found an unlikely friend in a South American anteater who is 20 times her size. Doesn't matter. They're best buds.
Look at them. It's so, look how messy it is.
He's
oh my
like,
gosh.
Excuse me, are you looking at me? Yeah, we just wanted to.
They're so beautiful. Like, they're just so healthy.
Cute. They look lovely.
Wow.
Budapest, if you happen to be heading there.
Guess what they are? They're Hungary. Get it? Because they're in Budapest. Oh my gosh, Amanda, I've been sitting too close to you for too long.
Oh, come closer. I love a pun.
All right,
Oh, wow.
now we're going to talk about the community calendar, highlighting some events taking place in our region. The 3rd annual Violet Festival returns this weekend at the St. John Public Gardens. This will be Saturday, May 2nd from 11 a.m. to 5. You can soak up spring flowers. There will be food, fun for the entire family. There will also be flower sales, local vendors, live music, and so much more. To learn about this free event, head over to their website.
Should have good weather, too, on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be quite nice to head out. And Crafty for a Cause is a craft bake and fudge sale taking place this weekend in Summerside. The fundraiser will be held this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Wilmot Community Center. All proceeds raised goes towards Hospice PEI. And the BMO Walk So Kids Can Talk event returns this Sunday, May 3rd, at the Amera Oval in Halifax. It's an annual community event focused on supporting youth mental health. Our very own Vanessa Wright will be emceeing the event. For additional details, head over to their website. And if you do have an upcoming event, send us the details. We'd love to promote it. Your Morning Atlantic at ctv.ca.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Again, great forecast. Month of May coming up. That also means Mother's Day. And if you're thinking, what do I get Mom? We've got some gift ideas coming up after the break, especially if your mom's into beauty and skincare. Those tips coming up after this, right after the wet and rainy forecast with Latavia.
Welcome back. The time now is 8:44. We're taking a live look at a cloudy start to the day in Truro. 5 degrees as of right now, and we do have a chance of some scattered showers expected late this afternoon. Pretty much the same for much of the maritime region. It's going to be a cloudy day ahead. Seasonal to above seasonal, below seasonal rather. Seasonal to below seasonal daytime highs headed our way. I'm getting ahead of myself. But we are going to see a warm up into the weekend. But for today, temperatures are starting to rise. 7 degrees right now in Fredericton, 3 degrees in Charlottetown, 4 starting off your day in Halifax with 6 in Yarmouth, 2 degrees in St. John's, Newfoundland. We do have a special weather statement in effect. We have a slow-moving low-pressure system making its way over parts of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia, seeing rain at times heavy at around 30 to 50+ millimeters expected. Along the Bay of Fundy coastline of New Brunswick, we are expecting a rainfall warning, looking at totals around 50 to 60+ millimeters. Over to our forecast timeline. A bit of sunshine starting off the day for parts of Newfoundland and Labrador. Into the maritime region, it's relatively cloudy starting off your day. Fog patches expected to develop, and we are expecting a chance of showers and or drizzle late this afternoon. We'll transition over to periods of rain into the evening. As you can see here, this system makes its way over New Brunswick and Nova Scotia first this evening until Friday. We are going to see quite a bit of a soaking expected for the maritime region, and that's going to continue in our forecast for Friday, the first day of May. If you're wondering about precipitation totals, we are going to see accumulation here, looking at around 10 to 20 millimeters for much of New Brunswick. Heaviest being for Grand Manan and St. John at around 20 to 30 millimeters. That's from now until early Friday morning. And we are going to see around 40 to 50 millimeters at its heaviest for Nova Scotia and Shelburne. 2 to 5 millimeters expected for parts of Prince Edward Island. Newfoundland and Labrador not really seeing any accumulation just yet. Over to our forecast today for New Brunswick. Daytime highs will range from 8 to 16 degrees, mainly cloudy skies. A chance of showers late this afternoon, transitioning over to rain into the evening. Wind gusts of 40 kilometers per hour today. For Prince Edward Island, looking at showers and or drizzle starting off the day, clearing out, leaving sunshine into the afternoon. Rain arrives into the evening. Daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees. Wind gusts of 40 as well. For Cape Breton, eastern Nova Scotia, a cloudy start to the day. Chance of showers and or drizzle moves in this evening. Daytime highs will range from 4 to 15 degrees. And for the rest of Nova Scotia, a cloudy day ahead, a chance of showers into the afternoon, transitioning over to rain at times heavy into the evening, a risk of thunderstorms. Daytime highs will range from 7 to 13 degrees and wind gusts picking up to 50. Labrador City actually looking at some light showers starting off your day, tapering off, leaving mainly cloudy skies into the afternoon, a high of 10. 4 degrees for St. John's, Newfoundland, looking at a mix of sun and cloud, periods of drizzle expected into the evening. Friday's forecast, wet for all 3 maritime provinces. We are expecting rain at times heavy, indicated in that darker green, and the yellow, a risk of thunderstorms for mainland Nova Scotia. This system will begin to clear out into the evening, bringing sunshine into our forecast for Saturday. That's a look at your weather. I'm going to throw things over to Crystal.
Mother's Day is Sunday, May 10th. So is it still time to get something special for the mother figures in your life? If you're stuck on what to get, our next guest has created a curated Mother's Day wish list for new moms, seasoned moms, grandmas, and even the I don't need anything mom. Please welcome our partner and beauty and lifestyle contributor, Shira Ben. Good morning, Shira.
Good morning, Crystal. Thank you so much for having me.
It's our pleasure. I understand you're a mom yourself, so you created a gift list for all types of moms and at various price points, too.
Yes. So I'm a beauty expert, makeup artist. So in my line of work, I get to try a lot of products, as you can imagine. And all the moms in my life, I have recommended these products to, and we are all loving them. So first of all, Crystal, from CoverGirl, we have the most ideal duo to hydrate mom's lips. From CoverGirl, we have their Clean Fresh Jammy Lip Sleeping Mask, along with these squishy glazed lip balms. These are absolutely amazing. Moms, we're doing all the things with very dry lips. The lip sleeping mask, you apply at nighttime. It's got this dreamy, whipped lavender scent, luxurious formula. You wake up with the most hydrated lips, and then throughout the day continue to hydrate them with a squishy lip glaze. These are balms. They offer up to 9 hours of moisture. Look how cute the packaging is. They smell delicious. They look delicious on the lips. Such a beautiful treat for moms. And you can make this fun with the kids and let them pick out a couple different flavors for the mom figures in your life. So cute. Love having one in every purse.
Yeah, they're super cute. And you're right, the packaging is delightful. It's so cheerful. All right, I understand.
So cheerful, yes.
Yeah, totally. All right, I understand you've got a suggestion for skincare that's a bit elevated, feels a bit like a reset.
Ooh. I love some luxury skincare. So from Elizabeth Arden, we have their Retinol plus HPR capsules. It really doesn't get better than this when it comes to skincare. It's such a treat for all moms, especially if you have a mom who likes a little bit of luxury, loves her skincare routine. She probably wouldn't think to buy this for herself, but it's a perfect dose of Retinol plus HPR in every capsule. Helps reduce the appearance of fine lines, pores, texture. It plumps and firms the skin as well. The formula is very gentle, so you can apply it morning and evening. Great for anyone who is looking to up their skincare routine a bit. Such a great gift idea. Absolutely love them. You can grab them from Shoppers Drug Mart.
Yeah, I love the little pearls, little jewels that you can put on your face every day.
Absolutely. I never thought of that, but yeah, they do look like little pearls. So cute.
All right, you got a tried and true gift idea. It's kind of the underrated MVP gift, I understand.
Yes, so Marshalls, right? Which mom doesn't love grabbing a coffee, browsing Marshalls, really? You can stop by Marshalls and grab everything for the moms in your life. So if you forgot about Mother's Day, Marshalls didn't. Big or small, they've got the perfect gifts for every mom. They say, we don't want anything, but Marshalls knows they deserve it all. Get all your gifts for all the moms in your life in store now. Like, seriously, just the most beautiful selection for all the moms in our life. And again, if you are stuck for a gift idea, grab a Marshalls gift card so she can go grab that coffee and browse. A solo shopping trip.
One size fits all for sure with a gift card like that. Absolutely. Yes. Okay, how about the gift of fragrance? That can be tricky. That can be tricky.
Good point, Crystal. Yes, it can be tricky to buy mom a fragrance. So from Philosophy, we actually have their body and hair mists. And why I love these is because it's not a typical heavy fragrance. It's a beautiful mist of scent, perfect for moms because you can pop it on before school drop-off when you're running to the grocery store with scent options like Pistachio Paradise, Vanilla Hug, and Coconut Rush. These are so mouth-wateringly delicious. Honestly, I wish you could smell it through the screen right now, Crystal. You would absolutely love these. These scents and mists are such a huge trend right now. We're seeing a lot of mists, but no one is doing it better than Philosophy. As I said, I try a lot of products, and these are so beautiful. I keep one in my gym bag, on my vanity. Again, you can refresh your hair with them, spritz all over your body, and they're not a very heavy fragrance. They're very light and feminine and fresh. Absolutely incredible gift idea, and they come in at $35.
Yeah,
so
I love
buy a
great price points and really fresh and modern. All of your takes would just make any mom feel kind of like she's not only pampered but kind of with it at the moment, which I would love to feel like that myself.
The main character, right?
Absolutely, main character energy. Shira, what a treat. Thank you so much for these suggestions today.
And happy Mother's Day to yourself, Crystal.
You too. Bye-bye.
Have a great day. Bye.
That was Shira Ben with Mother's Day gift suggestions. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more of the show in about 2 minutes' time. See you then.
Welcome back. We're going to bring you back to the Move Morning Chat. We were asking you if you could have lunch with like a maritime legend. Who are you inviting to and why? I did not curate these responses. These are just what came in. Jody from Moncton. I'm going to use this. I would invite Amanda. I think that's me.
Wow.
But she says, could we get Andy Hay to cook for us?
That would be a lovely
yes
luncheon.
and yes. I'm also going to put that on my email signature from now on, Maritime Legend, and I'm going to tell my husband to refer to me as that. Thank you, Jody, for inflating my ego. Hey, they're saying we're moving on.
Bringing you right back down to reality.
Okay, to the real legends now. Samantha from Tuscany. If I could have lunch with a maritime legend, it would be Captain Joshua Slocum. Nova Scotia-born seaman, the first person to sail single-handedly around the world. His book, Sailing Alone Around the World, is a classic of travel literature. I would love to hear about his adventures, his knowledge, learn more about what he saw while he sailed as a lobster fisherman. This fascinates me. If you want a great read, I highly recommend his book.
This sounds very interesting.
I know, adding to the list of books to read. Kathy, Center Burlington says, I would love to have lunch with Anne Murray. She's always been my idol since I was a 6-year-old girl, and she was my Auntie Jane's roommate in Halifax and singing on Sing Along Jubilee.
Wow.
That's a cool connection.
Very cool.
Jessica from New Waterford, if I had to pick a maritime legend, picnic, it'd be Jimmy Rankin, because it just seems like he'd bring a really relaxed, friendly vibe. Growing up Cape Breton, he's got that strong connection to the ocean and maritime culture, so you know the conversation would be good, easygoing, full of stories. Plus, he could play some music.
Absolutely.
One more for you, too. LJ, we would love to have lunch with maritime wrestling legend Leo Burke. Although he has passed away, we did meet him once. We are sure he would also have many interesting stories to share from his career.
This has been a fun conversation. Thank you all.
Love it.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was a lot of fun.
All right, we'll leave you with Bruce and Suji's nest. Little Helene was poking out earlier. She's underneath the bird. We will see you tomorrow on Friday.